Before we go into copywriting, let's talk a little bit about what I call the 5 stages of market sophistication. 5 stages of market sophistication. The biggest challenge that most entrepreneurs have is they don't understand the 5 stages, and depends on the product cycle, they communicate exactly the same way regardless of if stage 1 or stage 5. And once you see the distinction, you see that why the typical marketing message doesn't work, because they're not aware of this concept. Now, where did this concept come from? It's a little bit bright here, but it's by a copywriter at the time, also I would say one of the greatest copywriters back then, Eugene Schwartz. He wrote a book called Breakthrough Advertising, which I believe it's probably, I would say, one of my top 3 marketing books that I have in my library. It's out of print, but sometimes you can find it on Amazon for quite expensive. I think I bought mine for like $500 on Amazon out of print. You might be able to find it, but it's quite difficult to find. But it's a classic. Breakthrough Advertising. Breakthrough Advertising. Here's the key. You must market your product or service differently depending on what stage of sophistication your market is currently in. When I'm talking about how sophisticated your market is, I'm talking about how long that type of product or service has been around. How many competitors do you have? Are your clients, are your customers jaded? Have they seen a lot of this marketing message? That's what I mean by how sophisticated your market is. Now, here's why it's so important. Because you always want to aim to be number 1 or number 2 in the marketplace. Number 1 or number 2 in the marketplace. Now, does that mean that you have to be the highest quality? Yes or no? No. Yes or no? Now, does it help to have the highest quality? Yes, but it doesn't mean. In this case, I'm talking about perception, more important, because perception is reality. Perception is what? Reality. So always aim to be number 1, number 2 in the marketplace. You notice in any category, in any industry, the top 1 and top 2, as let's say a real estate agent, the number 1 and number 2 real estate agent makes most of the money. Yes? The number 1, number 2 mortgage broker makes most of the money. The top 10% makes 90% of money. The 90% makes 10% of money. So with what you do, if your product or service doesn't really matter, but think in terms of if you can't become the number 1 or number 2, maybe you could create your own category so you could be number 1 or number 2. Let me give an example. Let's say for a real estate agent, instead of calling yourself, I am the number 1 realtor in the whole freaking universe, okay? Or I'm the number 1 realtor in Vancouver. That's very what? Broad, yes? So instead of doing that, maybe you can specialize and say, I'm the number 1 expert just in this neighborhood. Yes?
Dan, is it more important to be first or best?
Good. It's always better to be first or different. Being first has a huge advantage. Let me give you an example. How many have ever seen those cola blind taste test? That they say, Coca-Cola and then Pepsi, and then they blindfold you and then you actually taste it. And they're saying that Pepsi is always pumping this message. 7 out of 10 say our Coke tastes better than Coca-Cola. Have you seen that before? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Pepsi will never be Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola is there first. When you think of Coca-Cola, you think of Coke, you don't think of Pepsi. So instead of competing in that category, there's a company, a small little company, you might have heard of, called Red Bull. They're the first in the energy drink market. That's the first to market advantage, and they market the hell out of that. And in fact, as you're listening to this, I think Red Bull actually goes through this cycle. There's 5 stages of market sophistication, and you see the marketing they did in the beginning. The marketing they did in the beginning was just like, hey, Red Bull gives you. Yeah, it's an energy drink. And you notice that's the first couple stages, and after a while, that's not their focus anymore. Because there's so many more what? Energy drinks in the marketplace. Now it's more Red Bull, you notice, what kind of events they sponsor? Sports, extreme sports. It's an identity. Okay? It's a different type of marketing message. So from stage 1, 2, 3, they've evolved, they've matured, and now Red Bull is more attitude. Not so much about give you wing. Everybody knows that. There's so many choices out there. Make sense? So let me go through this with you. So stage 1 is simply say, hey, you know what? Hello, market, I'm here. Be very simple, very direct, and just say, hey, you know, I'm a mortgage broker. I'm a real estate agent. I am a webmaster. I'm an accountant. When it's stage 1 in the marketplace hasn't seen this type of product and service before, they could just say that. There's no need to be lengthy. And since you have very little competition, your innovation is enough to capture the market. Okay, stage 1. Very, very simple. And say, hey, you know what? I do this, so buy from me. Great. I've been looking for something like that. Simple and direct. Just, hello, here's my market. Let me give you an example. So let's take the weight loss supplement market as an example. Many, many years ago, you see this full-page ad in print publication, and basically, take this pill and you lose weight. That's kind of the message. Take the pill and you lose weight. Stage 1. So basically, hey, you know what? I've got this pill. Take it and you lose weight. How many can see it's pretty simple and direct? Yes? Very simple and direct. Then as the market evolves, your marketing needs to evolve too. So you can see it's a computer ad. That's a computer, guys. It's not iPad. It's a computer ad. It's very simple. What's the headline? Read out loud. What's the headline? The first personal computer for under $200. Nah, this is it. Personal computer, $200. Very simple, very direct. Because back then, this is like, ooh. Computer for $200, that's already a big selling feature. Does that make sense? But that's many years ago. Okay? Stage 2 is, what is it? So if the direct claim is still working, you're saying, you know what, here's kind of what we do. You need to outbid your competition with features, because now stage two, you're getting a little bit more competition. Now you gotta communicate with the marketplace. Why is your stuff better? Why is your stuff better? So this requires you to take those original claims and you promise and you want to enlarge them. What do you want to do? Enlarge them. You want to talk a little bit more about not just, hey, here's what we have. No, but exactly, what is it? What is it? So stage 2, what is it? So here's an example. Again, the weight loss. Take this pill and you lose weight in 7 days or less. Yes? Don't write it all down. It's not meant to be that. Write down, when you are taking notes, it's not a note-taking contest.
That's my job.
Okay, that's your job.
Yeah.
That's Nathan's job. It's not looking. What should you write down?
What you're saying. Action steps.
Action steps. What does it mean for you? How are you going to apply this? I would rather you write down just a few paragraphs and you go home and you take action and do very well and make a whole bunch of money, then write it. It's note-taking. Nathan will take all the notes and he'll post it on Meetup anyway, right? So put up your hand, Nathan, so everyone knows. That he takes all the notes. Under the Meetup, after.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah. Now, don't fucking do that either. Don't stop writing, but write what it means. Don't write down. It's not about, it's again, not right now everything I said. It's what it means for you. Does that make sense? Just how does I apply this? So we guys take those original claims and promises and enlarge them. So take this pill and you'll lose weight in 7 days or less. How many can see? So from stage 1, just take this pill and you lose weight, and this is enlarge the claim, yes? Hello? Yeah. Okay. Here's an example from Apple. Why every kid should have an Apple after school. Now, I know you can see it's a little bit blurry, but let me, one apple that won't leave them hungry. The Apple, this is 2, it's easy to set up and learn. And it comes complete with almost everything you need to start computing in one box, including a free easy to use for this course, It goes into 120K. Can you imagine 128K of internal memory? Yes. Everybody go, ooh. Yes. Back then it was a huge deal. 120 internal memory, as powerful as the average office computer, right? A built-in hard drive, it just goes on and on and on and on about all these things, right? So back then, this is stage 2. Now let's talk about stage 3. So stage 3 now, as again, the market gets even more sophisticated. Now you got to go into how does it do it. Not just, here's what we have and why we're better than competition. Now it's, well, exactly how does this thing work? So consumers at this stage are getting a little bit more skeptical. They're getting what? A little bit more jaded. So now the market is jaded with all these exaggerated claims made by the growing group of companies, your competitors, selling pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. So what you need to do, you need to get a new mechanism. A new what? Mechanism. What does it mean? What does it mean? Get a new mechanism to make the old promise work. What does that mean? Yes?
Reframe it somehow?
Yes. So now from just, hey, here's what we do, here's why we're different, but let me tell you one piece of information that you might not know about what we do. And you tie it back to your claim. Let me give you an example. Okay, for now, just understand, you need a new mechanism. Now, so the emphasis shifts from what the product does to how it works. Not just, as a realtor, not just, I sell houses. Everybody does. So what makes you different? What makes you stand out? So emphasis from not just what you do, but how does it work? How does it work? How does it work? So let me give you an example. Take this pill that blocks the absorption of fat in your intestines and you lose weight in 7 days or less. I'm now backing up the claim with a mechanism, not just here's the benefit, but let me tell you what makes this pill different. Because this pill blocks the absorption of fat in your intestines. That's what makes this different from other pills. Yes?
Dad, do you mean that they strategically omitted this information in the first stage of marketing? No?
Not that they don't omit it, but at the first stage of marketing, first couple of stages, they might not even need it.
Oh, I see.
But now, as it gets more competitive, now they need to up the game. They need to up the game. And you lose weight. How many can see the difference? Yes? Yeah. That's the difference. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
You're already going into a saturated market.
Yes.
Wouldn't you already then need to be at this level?
Yes, that's my point.
So that would be this would be
Yeah, that's my point. That's precisely my point.
That becomes stage one in a sense.
Not stage 1. It's going into the marketplace. Let me go to the 5 stages first. Let me go to the 5 stages first. Okay, so here's introducing the Macintosh. Now, at the time, personal computers are getting more competitive. Look at what Steve Jobs did. What makes it tick and talk? That's the new mechanism. This freaking thing talks. Wow. That's it. He only needs that one thing to differentiate himself from everybody else. And I put it right in the what? Headline. The rest of the stuff, yeah, no, how it works. But bam, it's a computer that talks, man. That's, yes.
Are you trying to say maybe the headline is the thing we should be focusing on?
I'll get to that as well. So now in stage 4, now it even gets more competitive. Now you need to crush your competition because there's so many choices, so many people out there doing similar things that what you're doing. So now not only you got to promise more benefits than any other competitor because so many other choices, especially with the internet. People say now the internet is making it easier for entrepreneurs to start their business. How many agree with that, by the way? The internet is making it easier. But also, what problem comes with that? Saturation. Yes, massive competition. Getting visibility.
Inexperienced entrepreneurs charging barely anything.
Yes.
Just to get a customer.
Just get a customer, yes, and also the barrier of entry. So it's easy to start, but I believe it's actually now more difficult to succeed. It takes that much more skill to succeed. And it takes more money to succeed. And that's the way it is. And that's the way I like it. Yeah. Because the strong will survive, the weak will go away. So I like that competitive environment. A new mechanism must be created and must be believable and significant by your market. The key words there, what is it? Believable and what's important for them by your market. So eventually, all these tire your market prospects, and they've heard it all, competitors start dropping out like flies. People don't last. People don't last. So again, let's go back to the real estate industry. I keep using it, but let's use that. And people join real estate, most of them don't stay more than 2 years. They're dropping out like flies. Dropping out like flies. So stage 4, you want to crush your competition. Promise more benefit. New mechanism must be created. So here's an example from Apple. So then PC, this and that, they created. How many have seen the Apple versus Mac kind of? Yeah, that's the change the message. Not so much, here's what Apple, here's all the features we have, No, it's, hey, you know what? PC guys, nah, we are the cool. We're the cool bunch. We're the Mac. Apple people, right? So you see, last year there were more than 114,000 viruses for PCs, not for Macs. That's at the time. How many can see it's pretty direct? Yeah, and it's basically saying, these guys suck, we're better, right? And that's at the time what they did to compete with Microsoft PC. And you can see, it's interesting to see the history of Apple, how they've evolved and why Steve Jobs, why I'm such a big fan and what they've done, such a marketing genius. I don't see Steve Jobs as a computer guy, I see him as a marketing guy. Stage 5, now you want to be iconic. You don't want to be just one, you want to be the one in your marketplace. So be iconic. The marketplace knows so much about the industry, they will not buy into whatever you have to claim or hard sell anymore. No, they're just so skeptical. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. This is where you sell on now how your brand serves certain types of people and encourage people to buy into their exclusivity. Now you're going into, so how many of you use a Mac? Can I see a show? How many of you use PCs? Yeah, so you can see it's almost half-half. So you will see it's both products serve a segment in the marketplace, yes? So Mac, what do they do? Who are they serving? Who are they serving? Artists, designers, creative, rebels. What? Cool people, yes. So what about PCs? Who are they serving? Geeks and gamers, yes. Corporate, yes. Businesses, right? Microsoft Office, right? So you can see it's very two distinct markets. Both are good, both are fine. But I'm just saying you got to be clear who you're going after. So now it's exclusivity. Who do you want to be your customer? Who do you actually serve? See how many can see it shift from feature to identity? Yes? This is identity, not just feature. It's identity. This is for who. So who is your product for? So you remember when Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone, the first iPhone? It's an iPod. It's a phone. It's the internet. People were freaked out. How many have seen that presentation? Yeah. Remember that? He was like, and then he said it again. It's a phone. It's an iPod. It's the internet. And people were like, wow. You can have all that on one device. Yeah. That's iconic. That's iconic. Not Mac computer, not faster RAM, not more memory. Something totally different. Not just an MP3 player. Not just a phone, not just browser, all in one, in this little device. People freaked, right? And the rest is history. The rest will be iconic. So here's another example. Again, weight loss. And it's a very interesting headline. Super powerful diet pills make comeback. They're flying off the shelf, but they're not for everyone. Then who is it for? Is it for me? Let me take a look. Why is this flying off the shelf? Why is it selling so well? So again, that's an example of that, stage 5. Iconic. I think this is between, I would say, 4 and 5, maybe 4.5, if that makes sense. So that's an example of that. Okay. Before I get to that, take 3 minutes. How long? 3. Discuss the 5 stages of sophistication among your table. 3 minutes, go.
10 times your finances, 10 times your business, 10 times your marketing, 10 times your life. Hit the subscribe button now.